Okay. All right, camera's on, you guys. So I'm just gonna remind you, Catherine? Okay, I'm just gonna remind you, all of you guys, when you started this school year, we got permission. Your parents signed off that you can be filmed for educational purposes. So that's what that is. So you're on camera, we're on camera, we're being recorded. Good afternoon. Thank you. What I want all of you guys to do, we're gonna do a new lesson. It's a familiar artist, Minerva Cuevas, who is the activist, right? We already saw a little bit of her work. We've done a few of her drawings. We've done stuff inspired by her. So now make sure your iPads are out. I'm gonna ask you to do that right now. Pull out your iPads and go to your Google Classroom, please. What you're gonna see, I'm gonna put up on the screen right now. Get that going. If you guys are having Wi-Fi trouble, you know what to do, right? Just look over at your partner. Put the chips away. Thank you. Thank you, Sonny. You guys, that rule never changes, right? I don't want to see the back. If you're that sneaky, good on you. I don't care. All right. So you guys are going to go to, this is our Google Classroom, period 5. It's called Art as Activism. I'm going to read the instructions out loud. So all you're doing is, if yours is not working, you can look up on the screen, please. Number 1, follow along with the slide presentation. Very easy. You guys got that. We're going to go according to a schedule, but I'm going to tell you what we're doing, okay? Also, number 2, at the end of the slide, you guys all are going to make your own copy. At the end of that, please turn everything off. And I forgot to remind you, put your phones away. Okay. Raise your, who was that? I want to know. We'll talk. Okay, we'll talk after. Thank you. No worries, it's an accident. It's an accident. It happens. Okay, where was I? The last slide, number 7, is where you guys, I'm going to ask you to respond, okay? That's our last step for the day. All right. Raise your hand if you have the slide open. All right, thank you guys. Let's see. Okay, so I might be calling on you, or you can, like I said, you can volunteer. Okay. Here is our artist, Minerva Cuevas. Raise your hand, anybody? What do we remember about her? Okay. I'm going to say a few key words that's going to hopefully remind you. Mickey Mouse. Okay, so what do we remember about her, please? Asani?
She did the tar drawings.
Perfect. Yeah, she did the tar, not drawings. We didn't see drawings,
Like
but they were
the inks, figures.
little figurines. And what else? Julian, you had your hand up?
I was going to say the same thing.
Same thing. Anybody remember a different artwork of hers? Anybody?
Balloon?
What was it?
Was she the balloons or was that in the...
That was another one. No, that was Jeff Koons.
The one with the ink and the city and stuff.
You're remembering? I'll jog your memory. Here's one that I remember. Miguel. Thank you, sir. Here's one I remember of hers. It was the white, pre-Hispanic. It was like a little white sculpture from the Mayans, and then she had dripped some oil on it. I remember that one. So we kind of know, I can tell. We're going to go through this slide. So I just want to reintroduce you to Minerva Cuevas. She's a little bit younger than me. Miguel, all those papers are probably not for this class.
I don't have a folder.
Okay, let's put them away for me, please. Okay, we're going to take turns reading some of these slides. I want to get you guys involved. Each slide that we see, you're going to see, I want to talk about it so we know what we're looking at, because there's a certain schedule today that I want to follow. So for today, I'm going to zoom in. Your learning intention is really the reason, this is the goal that we're chasing with this. So you can read it here. Well, let me zoom in. My zoom in does not work great, you guys. Minus. I'll have to read it from here. Actually, I'll have a volunteer. Anybody want to read in the yellow? The learning intention is right here, and over here in the highlight yellow, Someone want to read it? It's a simplified, translated version of the learning intention. So it's like more friendly for you guys. No volunteers, it's in English and Spanish. My goal is to learn how artists use art to talk about social and environmental problems and make my own artwork inspired by Minerva Cuevas. Okay, so then there's a bunch of standards that we don't need to talk about, but Asani, focus up here. I want you guys to look at that orange row. Right, I want you to look at the orange row. This is how we know we're achieving that goal. We have a learning intention, we say, why are we doing this, right? The orange is asking us, how will I know that I'm achieving that goal? How will I know? So there's three levels of basic, then the second one is like, I'm meeting that goal, and the third one is like, I'm really doing great. You're gonna have to be honest with yourself. So the first one says this, you can ask yourself, what is activism in art? If you look right below that, you guys, on the peach colored row, the definition of activism is there. It's a reminder. I put those vocab words we had, I restated them here. So you're gonna ask yourself, do I know what activism in art is? Okay. The second level, if you're really meeting it, that's barely getting it. The second one is where I hope all of us land at least. Second one is how then I will identify how Minerva Cuevas uses symbols to critique society. And finally, the third one is when you're really exceeding, like you guys, I'm happy with where you're all at, and you don't have to do that today. The third one is, finally, I can express how I use art to comment on current social issues. So you're gonna see in the very last slide what I'm asking you guys to do today. That last slide, I'm asking you guys to consider what you would do if you were doing your own art piece in the way she's doing it, right? To protest, to shed light on something that you care about. She cares about the environment, and that's where a lot of her artwork focuses. Okay, your third slide, go with me. Your third slide is, just think about these questions. We have, you guys remember, Asani said the Mickey Mouse covered in oil. This one is Del Monte Canning Company. They do a bunch of vegetables. She's put the label Pure Murder. I don't know what that is, what she knows about them, but this is her point of view. Right here, this is a oil painting where she, I'm sure weeks. It took her weeks to paint this seascape, and then she literally takes that finished canvas and she dips it in oil. Think of how abrupt that is. Something that's so beautiful took so long, like in nature, and how instantly it can be destroyed or ruined. That's what she does. So it's pretty literal once you get past why she did, if you understand the why. And then right here, the last one, this is where I think I hope a lot of you would go in your direction. The last one is called satire. The definition is on that second slide. Satire is using humor. And why is this funny? She paid someone to dress like Ronald McDonald, order a Big Mac, go into McDonald's, and start complaining out loud about the unfair wages, minimum wage, union busting, and really poor nutritious food. How many of us go to McDonald's?
Me, I went to the morning.
You went this morning? What did you get? Did you say this morning?
Yeah.
What did you get? Can't say.
And also got Starbucks.
Everything over.
Lucky. All right. Okay, so the guy's literally like chomping down on a Big Mac while he's complaining about the way their labor practices are. Okay, that's satire. So two questions on there. What do you notice about the artwork? I sort of you're gonna come back to these visuals later. And number two, what message do you think the artist is trying to convey? I gave you a hint, right? You guys should know that. Okay, we're gonna go to the fourth slide, please. We're gonna be able to talk about themes as well. So you're gonna, I'm just gonna leave them alone for right now. They're a little bit more in depth, but what I did was purposely bold some of the text. Hey, please is better, thank you, but it shouldn't happen. We talked about this yesterday. Okay, so some of the words are in bold, Xander, right? The bold is on purpose, because I want you to focus on that when we think about theme. And then we're gonna go to here. This is one of the things we're gonna talk about too. You're gonna be talking with whoever you're sitting next to. As you contemplate or consider her artwork and what she's trying to do, you are going to say, I don't want to hear if I'm going to walk around, I don't want to hear, I like blank because this. Or I think this is cool because blank. What I'd rather hear coming out of your is use these sentence frames. These are for you guys to sort of start your own thought. This artwork emphasizes blank by using blank. Let's go to the Ronald McDonald. This artwork emphasizes sort of humor or boldness or irony. Irony, like it's got a little funny spin on it by using the very character that we all love and know, right? Everybody knows Ronald McDonald. So that's what I want you to do. Use those. The last one. This is where you're gonna write your response. If you were an activist, what issue would you highlight through art? Give me a paragraph, okay? And I already have a starter for you. You can continue with the sentence and finish your thought. This goes back to that third question where I really want you guys to succeed. The third question on slide 2 is what? How do I know if I'm being successful? Does someone want to read that for me? It's right here.
Which one?
Finally, I can express. What did she say, Asani?
Finally, I can express how I use art to comment on a current social issue.
Perfect, thank you, sir. So what Asani's saying is finally I can use art to comment on a current social issue. That's where I hope we end up, and that's where you guys are answering. If I were a visual art activist, the issue I would highlight is blank. Purely writing. Okay. So we have an introduction. I'm gonna move on. We looked at her work. Do I have any questions about her work? Anybody want anything clarified? No? It's okay if he sleeps. We'll be good with it today. I don't know what's going on with your lunchtime, but it's a pattern, so I want to talk to you about it. Okay? We'll try to fix it. There's got to be something we can do. All right, so we're going to move on. Any questions about her art? I want to go to, we're going to spend about 15 or 10 minutes talking about her, the themes, a little bit more in depth. Question?
Why did Ronald McDonald have a radioactive sign on his thing?
I want you to guess. I want to hear your opinion. So here's Asani's question. I love it, by the way. He noticed something in the Ronald McDonald. Let's go back to it. It's probably the best question I heard all day. I can't get to the side. There you go. Say that again, Asani, out loud.
Why does Ronald McDonald have a radioactive sign on his shirt?
So Asani's saying, why does Ronald McDonald have a radioactive symbol on his chest? Do you have an opinion yet? Think about it. Anybody have an opinion why he would have the artist, Minerva Cuevas, why would she make that such a prominent detail? Think about it.
To show that fast food can get free.
I like that answer. So Julian is saying she wants to show that fast food is what?
Isn't good.
Isn't good for you, right? I mean, we all know it's amazing, it tastes great, we love it, but it's nutritionally, it's not great, right? So we agree. So Asani, you wanna, you don't have you agree with him? Okay, I do too.
Yes, sir, I agree
Julian,
with him.
thank you. Question?
I agree with him too.
You agree? We all agree, or someone have something a little, what does that mean to you? Have we seen this before? Dante, you've seen that symbol on the chest? You can say no. Maybe it's a little familiar. I think it is part of her message. Okay, you want to add to that? What else?
Maybe that McDonald's bad for you?
Maybe McDonald's is bad for you. I think she wants to say that, but in a lot of ways. So I agree with you. She's saying all the things we talked about. Labor practices, they discourage union, and the nutrition of the food is pretty bad for you, right? That's her opinion. This is what makes a visual artist an activist. This is something that she cares about. So can she just go to sleep every night and not do anything about it? No, she's an artist. She has that desire to like create visuals. So this is something that's important to her. I'm gonna ask you guys to think about your own, how you would respond if you were her. What do you care about? Anybody watching what's going on in the country? Or remember when a lot of us were worried and nervous about ISIS coming?
No.
Oh, I remember.
Do you remember the school? They printed the cards. Like that was a real issue. Could that? Okay, you weren't. That's fine. Could that be something that you choose to do for this assignment? Absolutely, right? Question? Yeah, but you have to make it, okay? Okay. All right, so let's go to themes. So I'm gonna move on. If you are following along, actually, I'm gonna give you guys a 2-minute break. You can do nothing, right? You can do nothing. You can talk about Ronald McDonald if you want, but whoever you're sitting next to, just chit chat. I'm gonna give you guys 2 minutes.
Ronald McDonald's food is very good. But the best thing,
It's just so nice. Why did I go? Why did I go?
I'm happy. Maybe a little bit. But I'll look a little I told you I can bring shit.
Question? Yeah, if you make your pass.
I bring those
Yes.
because I want to leave the milkshake for me and your chick. And I thought Jalisa she would bring it, but I guess she didn't.
All set. Yeah. Me. Okay, you guys, we're gonna come back together.
That was in 2 minutes.
Don't time me, please. Okay, in 3, 2, 1, we're back. Sergio, if I walk around and see your screen, is that a game? Okay, thank you. So I had a question from one of your classmates, like if she was looking at, this is I'm not gonna say names, looking at this on slide 3, and asked me if we have to answer those. You do not. Those 2 questions, what you notice, I also have in Spanish for those of you who like that, prefer that, can note that way. What do you notice? That's just for you to just start you thinking in the way I want you to think as we work through this slide. Okay, that's just get your mind going, and then the second question I'll repeat it, but thank you for asking. What message do you think the artist is trying to convey? All of her art pieces, every single one of them has a message. That's what makes Cuevas an art activist. Any of us can have that. Any of us can be just like her. All you have to do is care about something. There's a lot of things I care. I care when I see, well, I know and I read that a lot of students at this school are hungry. There's probably a few that don't have a home. I'm just talking about students, like at the faces I'm looking at right here. I care a lot about what social media, how it affects your lives. Like that's something that really bothers me. I could probably do something on that. Like really, I am not envious of the time you guys are growing up. So those are just examples that are personal to me. I care about 100 things, but whatever, I would probably try to marry it with something that I can make a visual with that. I could do something with that. It matters so much. Okay. I want to focus on slide 4. We're going to spend a couple minutes on this one because it has to do with themes. After that, after about 10 minutes, I'm going to ask you guys to break into partners. If you're a single, Bella, you can jump around wherever. No more than 3. If you're a single, no, he's going to come back. If you're a single, you can join anybody you want. But I don't want groups of 4 or 5. The max is 3, okay? So I'm gonna ask you guys, after we talk about themes, our next step, Asani, our next step is to break into those groups and follow and use in those groups. You guys are going to look at these questions on slide 5, and you're gonna talk, you're gonna share. Whoever's talking, the other's listening, right?
Yes.
So Asani, let's practice that. Me and Asani are sitting together, and I'm gonna say, I'm gonna avoid the ones in red, that means stop, and I like the ones in green, meaning go. I like this one, to me, is the simplest one. So I'm gonna say, Asani, in my opinion, when I'm looking at Ronald McDonald, I feel like Cuevas critiques bad fast food corporations like McDonald's by using satire, by using the very same character that all kids are supposed to love. Done. You can do that, right? Do you have one in mind? Do a version of mine if you're comfortable. I'm not putting you on the spot. You can say you're not ready.
Already.
Not ready. Okay. We're good with that. Let's continue now. So that's what I'm going to ask you. If you can make your path, you can go. That's what I'm going to be asking you to do after we talk about themes. You're going to find your partner. After that, that's only like 3 minutes of partner back and forth. You guys, alone or partners, you can go to the last slide and do your written response, okay?
Ooh, I think.
You can write that. I'm happy to help. You can raise your hand. I can get you started on that. I think you really start with picking an artwork, okay? Any questions? We're moving on. Bella, you're good? Asani. Okay, we're gonna talk about themes. What does anybody know in your, oh, by the way, I get this all the time. I got it today because of our Friday reflection. That other periods did. I get this all the time. Why are we writing, mister? I thought this was supposed to be art. Who, raise your hand, I wanna see how, you, right? You have this, oh my God, okay. Okay, Miguel, no, you don't have to bring more. Okay, so put your hands down, thank you. I have an answer, let me answer first, and then we'll get to you. Dominic, okay, here's my answer to that question. I get it all the time. Every single subject, including your electives, they're all called content areas. So those in each content area, we have standards. Miguel, yeah, go. We have the standards, and you have to do content area writing. That's what I'm talking about, okay?
What's that?
Miguel, just go. Stop talking.
What's content?
Yeah, we're good. He's gonna handle his business.
What's that?
So, I'll rephrase what I just said. Why do we write in art? You have to be able to write in your content area. And I'm not just making stuff up. I actually have the state of California actually guides me. That's where this all comes from. If you look back on slide 2, we have English Language Development, or ELD. That's where I get this from. So you should know, like, it's not random, it's very purposeful. You are not wasting your time, okay? It would make me so happy to see your responses when I know you've given it right thought. Like, that's what I hope for. So, you guys will be exchanging information and ideas with others through oral, collaborative discussions. That is absolutely slide 5. When me and Asani were talking, we were doing that first one. We were meeting that standard, right? It's easy. So we're putting this together with purpose. Don't think it's random. Let's go back to themes. Like I said, we have a couple minutes, and then we're gonna move on to you guys breaking into pairs. Okay, a couple more minutes. I'm just checking my time. Okay, what is a theme? Anybody have an idea what's a theme? You're on fire today. I love it. I appreciate you. What is a theme, sir?
Like a different style or
A
something?
different style or, okay. I like it, I wanna reword it, but I don't even know how. A different style, I like that.
It's a certain section with different qualities.
A certain section with different qualities. Yes, thank you. And what else?
Like the message of the story.
I really, okay, I'm gonna put all yours together, but thank you. Messi says, a message with, what would you say?
Of the story, like kind of like behind it.
Would you call it the main message? Like it is the message in a story. It is the idea, right? It's the overarching, we call it theme. I don't even know if I could find a better word for it. Yes, sir?
Maybe like a different genre?
A different genre, that could work. I like what Mesli, that's closer to what I was hoping to hear. Because that sets me up for what we did right here. All of you are correct, all three of you, thank you. So if we're thinking about Cuevas as a visual artist and activist, let's look at this first one. I mentioned the artwork with the pre-Hispanic sculpture. There he is, he's splashed with oil, right? He has oil on him. The newspapers are there for a really good reason, because those are like financial newspapers. So basically that represents the corporations, oil, they've come in and they've disrupted, really the reason why this is all white, she wants to present it as pristine. Like those cultures were before Europeans landed there. So that's what she's saying. She says that was a travesty, and then it led to just this big corporations destroying what is pristine, and that could be like the environment, right? We know that's true. So the theme is in, she's talking about colonization. In pairing pre-Hispanic iconography and with representations of nature and contemporary corporations. Contemporary corporations means Shell, Mobil, Exxon. So Cuevas draws a connection between colonization, trade, and the devastation of the natural world. Are you looking? All right, thank you, Miss. Yeah? Wait till someone comes back. Okay, here's another thing. I'll highlight it. Cuevas' work concerns economic and environmental issues. She's pretty consistent, you guys. She's always talking about the environment. She's always talking about corporations. And she's always talking about greed, right? And how that can be so destructive. Here's something that I think all of you, some of you will understand. Have you heard of global warming or climate change?
Yes.
Right? Raise your hand. Climate change, global warming. Here is a crazy thing. And I put it in here because I found it. I'm like, that's crazy. This is amazing to watch. So she found this magazine ad. It's when you would open a magazine, there was 2 pages. The oil company in that ad, which is now Exxon, it was called Humble Oil, actually bragged in this copy, in the text right here. You know what the brag was from the Exxon? Each day we supplied enough energy to melt 7 million tons of glacier.
That's bad.
What was that?
That's so bad.
What's your question?
What was
Is that?
What is that?
Okay, climate change, so let's do a little refresher. Climate change is what?
The wind, like the changing
the
of
weather.
like,
Changing the weather because of what are we affecting?
How we treat the earth.
How we treat the earth. Perfect. In the 50s, this is a real ad, like they're bragging, we make enough oil to melt ice.
That's
Do
bad.
we need the ice melted?
No.
No.
That affects the whole world's atmosphere, the temperature, right? It's bad. If the world temperatures were to drop an average like 1 degree, that affects a lot of our lives in crops and all that, right? This was a brag, so she wants to like, hey, I'm gonna put the spotlight on you. You're wrong, this is messed up. I'm gonna call you out. This was a brag? This doesn't fight like they say, doesn't age well. That might have been so perfectly acceptable back then, but today we know that's pretty bad. Okay. Anybody have a question about theme, or you want to add to what your classmates said out loud? One more? Yeah, yes, sir.
I have a different idea what her art means.
I want to
She's
hear
trying to
it.
get everyone to stoop.
Okay, so Asani's saying he has a different idea now of what her art means, and what is it?
I think she's trying to get everyone to see and realize the world's condition, the condition of the world.
I love your answer. She wants to, so this is Asani's opinion, which I totally agree. Cuevas, wants all of us to see what, say it again?
The condition of the world is.
The condition of the world, because who's messing around with it? Who's in her mind, you can go, who's having a bad effect on the world's
The
condition?
oil company.
The oil companies. Could we say fast food?
Yeah.
We could say oil company. We could say a lot of different areas, but those two she focuses on, right?
Mhm.
Thank you. I love it. You're gonna have to wait, you guys, until we get a couple students back. I know it's after lunch, but that's all right. So now at this point, I want to take like a minute break, and take a minute break, and then we're gonna break and find your partner during this minute. But give me a minute, okay? Give us a minute. So take a break, take a breather.
Last break is 1:30.
And then we're gonna get
okay?
back together, sorry.
Are you
We're gonna get
okay?
back together. Hold on, hey, wait, I'm not done. Take a break. We're gonna get back together in about a minute. You can go. And then we're gonna break into groups. Okay, hold on, question. Make a pass. Question? Oh, no, you're good. Thank you. It's, question? You can use it.
Sorry, I think this.
That's just out loud. I love your question. Just like try to reflection. Dominic. Say that again? Okay, you get to partner with him.
Yeah.
Say that again? No, no.
This part is white, so I feel like
Okay, actually, I'm gonna, hey, just for you guys, for your, I'm gonna stop the film, okay? So the filming will be off.